My name's Jason Andrews and I'm from the TV show called All for Adventure. Now, I've done thousands of kilometres in Australian conditions. Now, Australia would have to be some of the toughest roads in the world, and I've done thousands of them, and travelling on BF Goodrich mud terrains. Now, the one question that I get asked all the time is, what tyre pressures do you run, Jace? Now, that is a tricky little situation, because where you're going and what you're doing, because that is what determines your tyre pressures. So I've got a mud tyre. Now, a mud tyre on the highway, you want to be running that at 40 psi. Now 40 psi, that's not too bad. The tyre will still run quite nicely. It won't make too much noise, get good braking, especially in the wet. Now, once I go off-road, I can adjust those tyre pressures by dropping them down, and that'll give me more traction. All right, so what do we drop it to? Now, generally, if I was going to go onto sand, depending on how much weight is in my vehicle, or how heavy my vehicle is, or again, how big my tyre is, that's how I would gauge how much pressure to drop out of it. So if I've got a tyre like this is a 285/75 R16, and I would drop that down generally to travel on sand, 18 psi. Now, I can drop that down as low as 12 psi, and that will make it even easier for my car to travel over the sand. The tyre bulges out and of course gives you more footprint. So 18 psi if you're travelling on the sand, drop it down to 12 psi if you really want to make a difference and not get stuck. Now, that's for sand driving, and especially people say, oh, you need an all-terrain tyre to drive on the sand. Well, it's not true. You can drive a mud tyre on the sand. An all-terrain tyre is a far better tyre on the sand, but it'll still get you by. Now, when I go out into the bush and I'm in the mud, I can do the same thing. I can drop the tyre pressures out on my mud tyre, and again, that'll give me traction. Don't drop them down as far as you would on sand, because there is potential there to peel the tyre off the rim, and that's going to give you all sorts of worries. So let's drop it down to say 25 psi. I wouldn't go any lower than that, and that's going to give me good traction in the mud. Now, if you're going into rocky terrain, and potentially rocky terrain, that's the sort of terrain that can destroy tyres. You wouldn't roll in there with 40 psi, okay? Because there's a chance that you're going to shove a rock straight through that tyre. So we drop the air out. Now, I drop the air down to about, say, 32 psi. Now, my mate Simon, he likes to drop them right down, but that potentially can roll the tyre off your rim. It is bulk traction. You get absolutely awesome traction, but you can potentially rip that tyre off the rim and cause a lot of damage to your rim even. So 32 psi is a happy medium. It gives you traction on the rocks, but it also allows the tyre to mould over the rocks, and therefore less chance of putting a rock through your sidewall or even through the tread of your tyre. Definitely don't want that happening. So remember, when you get out into the bush, it's not just, I'll just drop it down to this pressure. It has to do with the size of your tyre, the terrain that you're running, and of course, I wouldn't leave home without a good quality tyre, because that's half the reason why you'll get a puncture if you have an inferior or cheap quality tyres.